under control, and we need to do even more to slow the spread.
This is the moment to not be going to the grocery store, not going to the pharmacy, but doing everything you can to keep your family and your friends safe.
Things are going to get bad, and we need to be prepared for that. It is going to be shocking to some. It certainly is really disturbing to see that, but that's what's going to happen before it turns around. I will not say we have it under control, Margaret. That would be a false statement. We are struggling to get it under control.
Those dire warnings delivered as a fight between Donald Trump and the scientists spilled into public view. Axios reporting today on a major confrontation this weekend within the White House Coronavirus Task Force over an unproven potential coronavirus drug treatment. Axios describing a clash like never before seen since the task force was assembled, one in which Dr. Anthony Fauci was firm in his view that much more data and research is needed before the drug under consideration can be considered for effective treatment in this pandemic. That clash was Saturday, and yet by Sunday, Donald Trump stood before the American people and basically prescribed the drug to the hundreds of thousands of Americans now facing the virus.
The other thing that we bought a tremendous amount of is the hydroxychloroquine. It's a powerful drug on malaria. And there are signs that it works on this, some very strong signs. I just think it's something, you know, the expression, I've used it for certain reasons. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? And a lot of people are saying that when, and are taking it, if you're a doctor, a nurse, a first responder, a medical person going into hospitals, they say taking it before the fact is good, but what do you have to lose? They say take it. You have to go through your medical people, get the approval. But I've seen things that I sort of like. So what do I know? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I have common sense.
You could have stopped at what do I know. We don't always play the president, but we played that for an important reason, to underscore the urgent need of fact-checking everything he says from that podium. The warnings are now pouring in from actual experts, doctors, who say that we don't know enough about that drug yet to encourage Americans to just take it, like Donald Trump said. And responding to the president's question, what do you have to lose? Well, the president of the American Medical Association this weekend warned simply, you could lose your life. And Dr. Anthony Fauci, in comments over the weekend, publicly urged extreme caution against any suggestion that this medication should be used widely to treat or prevent coronavirus at this time.
The data are really just at best suggestive. There have been cases that show there may be an effect, and there are others to show there's no effect.
Okay.
So I think in terms of science, I don't think we can definitively say it
All
works. Granted that there is a suggestion that there is a benefit there, I think we've got to be careful that we don't make that majestic leap to assume that this is a knockout drug.
The clash between Donald Trump and his own experts comes as the toll that the pandemic has taken becomes almost impossible to comprehend. More than 350,000 cases are now confirmed in the United States. That's more than the totals in Spain and Italy combined. The death toll in the United States surpassing 10,000. New York is still the U.S. epicenter of the virus, accounting for nearly half of those deaths. And there's new reporting in the New York Times that warns that the official count understates the true U.S. toll. Times reporting this, quote, with no uniform system for reporting coronavirus-related deaths in the U.S. and a continued shortage of tests, some states and counties have improvised, obfuscated, and at times backtracked in counting the dead. The coming crisis, the president at odds with his top docs, and the undercount of the scale and of the pandemic is where we start today with some of our favorite reporters and friends. Dr. Kavita Patel, a practicing physician and a former Obama health policy director.